get started. Warlock versus the Druid. Okay, so looking at that hand is probably going to be like something like a Yogg Druid or a Token Druid. Maybe a Token Druid without Yogg, like we never know because of the Ancient of War, but I possibly think it's a Yogg Druid just because of the Violet Teacher. And then we see the standard Zoo playing by Nuba as well. If you pick up something like Innervate, I definitely don't want the Ancient of War. I want something like a hand that's a little bit more reactive. I may want like something like a Wrath. Yeah, or even a Swipe too, just bring back the board a little bit if I'm behind, especially when we know that Zoo actually has a very good time in terms of developing the board because they just can develop it so easily. So 2 1/1s are being played with the Living Root, so pretty good opening, not bad. And Nuba answers that with the double 1-drops that he just picked up, the Flame Imp with the Argent Squire. The only way you're gonna lose to a Druid with the Zoo is possibly just being really behind on board, like a turn 3 kind of play. So unfortunately, he doesn't have that. Alright, so yeah, I feel like hero powering the Divine Shield and using the 2 1/1s to trade into Flame Imp is definitely not bad. I feel like that's the more efficient kind of play. So that's exactly what he is going to do. So 2 of the 1/1s going into the Flame Imp and just leaving the 1/1 kind of alive. Ooh, pick up the Possessed Villager, that's definitely not bad. Tarp Pellus obviously is going to come down. Oh, picking up the Shield Barrier is not bad as well. It just protected like your smaller kind of creatures. And then you can possibly combo that with the Defender of Argus. Especially on turn 3, he doesn't really have a turn 3 kind of play, so you possibly can play the Shield Barrier on turn 3 and possibly tap or develop the 2 1/1s in his hand, and possibly another 1/1, possibly another 1-drop if he picks it or he draws it like the next turn. So using the Living Roots to remove on the creatures on board and also getting a hero power down. Ooh, Knife Juggler. This is good with the Shield Barrier being very heavily protected. But we're gonna see if Perna actually decides to actually swipe off the Knife Juggler, just because depending how threatening it actually is. I personally don't feel like it is. Just playing the Violet Teacher is probably enough in my kind of opinion, and you can actually afford to actually be greedy just because Perna's at a very kind of high health right now. Okay, so we're gonna see the Possessed Villager and the Abusive Sergeant coming down. If Juggle hits, I would possibly trade it with the Violet Teacher, but unfortunately he did not. Alright. So we're gonna see the swipe coming down right here. Yeah, removing Knife Juggler because that's probably like the most threatening card on board, and I feel like removing the Possessed Villager kind of Death Rattle is good as well. You're able to remove the Shield Barrier. The reason why removing the Possessed Villager kind of the Death Rattle is good is because you don't really want it to combo with like something like Abusive Sergeant or Possessed Villager. Look really good. Pick him a Claw. Claw is also very good as well. It is able to keep the board in control. So definitely really good. Okay, picking up another Possessed Villager, that's definitely not bad, but Nuba is staring down the Violet Teacher that's really uncontested at the moment. I actually feel like if the Violet Teacher... Okay, so playing the Raven Idol first. Okay, so let's see what he gets. Ooh, Soul of the Forest. I like Soul of the Forest. You're playing like something like a token kind of deck, using the Claw, keep everything in kind of control first, and then using Soul of Forest to make them all have Death Rattles, making it hard for Nuba to even gain back the board. That is very disgusting. Picking up Soul of the Forest right away. 2-0 for Perna right now. So yeah, Nuba knows that